Hi, I'm Ed from Voyage Adventure Vans, and this is the start of a conversion that we're about to undertake on a long wheelbase MAN TGE, same as a Crafter. Um, it's pretty much a brand new van. Customer had it delivered a few months ago, and has been patiently waiting for us to get space in the workshop to get this converted. Slight delay in so much that, well, I'll go over it in another video rather than sort of clog this video up with it. But basically, our old company, Celtic Motorhomes, had to go into voluntary receivership, and we've managed to salvage a small company with just two of us working on the vans. I'll go into that in detail in another video if anybody's interested. If you're not, ignore it. We're building vans, that's what we do, and that's what we've always done. So this van is going to be a pretty big spec. As you can see, this is how it's come into us. Empty van, ordered from factory with a 180 brake, couple of nice toys around the cab, things like LED lights, swivel seats, no bulkhead, so you've got the bulkhead delete and you've got the nice plastics without having to sort of mess around buying different ones. Got the folding handbrake, which is good. So yeah, it's a good spec van to start with. What I'm hoping to do over the next few months, because it's probably gonna be, I'm anticipating a few months build. Largely will be built on my own with help from Nick, my upholsterer, but his upholstery workload is quite high at the moment, so I'm anticipating having him down in this van, sort of helping out as much as he can, which probably won't be that much. The upside of that is that we won't have to have the radio on much, and therefore I can record a bit more and I won't get copyright strikes. So it benefits me from a recording point of view, because I do plan to put the whole build as much as I can on YouTube, and document the process from start to finish, and hopefully build a good series of how I convert a van. It's not going to be a how to convert a van. As far as I'm concerned, it's just how I do it. I'm not a teacher. I can only teach you how I do it. So that's the way it's going to be. It's going to be a how I build a van, and we're going to probably try and break it down into the areas, or we're going to break it down maybe weekly. I can't do daily videos. I mean, probably I can't do weekly videos if I'm truthful with you, because it's something I'm learning at the moment, is how to pull these videos together and edit them, and it's going to be a steep learning curve. So I'm going to try and do my best, put a video together, put some little quick tips on through the week, and maybe some snippets on Facebook, Instagram as we go. But the gist will be, we're starting with a bare van. First few days we're going to be stripping it out, masking it up, marking all the windows out. If there's something I think is important, and there's a reason why we do it, I will try to illustrate that reason. Then if you follow that as a good guide, all well and good. If you think it's no good and you want to sort of go your own way about it. But we've basically been building vans since 2003. Or I've been full-time self-employed since 2006, building motorhomes. So, this is something I've spent the bulk of my adult life doing, and that's building vans for a living. So we do follow a certain routine. I do have ways that I like to work, and there's a lot of things that I will probably go overboard in, compared to perhaps your average person building a van. But I've always had a brilliant reputation for attention to detail and the quality of finish, so I don't plan for that to change. It's why the builds are expensive, it's why the builds take so long. You could certainly do it quicker and cheaper if you didn't bother with all the fannying around. So but it is what it is. So this van, stage one of the conversion is, well, stage one has already been done. Stage one is to give it a bloody good wash. The reason for that is that we're going to be masking up the van before we do any cutting at all. And if you're dragging masking paper and masking sheets around a dirty van, then all you're going to do is add scratches. You're going to drag the dirt over the paintwork and cause scratches. Now, first thing we do is going to be to mask up the bumper, because we're going to be in and out, and that's a constant traffic, dirty sort of shoes, and the last thing you want to do is put a load of scuffs in somebody else's bumper before they've had a chance to use the van. And if they do it themselves later on, that's fine. But I don't want the marks to be from us. So anything that's going to get traffic, we're going to cover, and we're going to just leave it covered while we work on the van. We're then going to mark out, tomorrow we're going to be marking out all of the windows, skylights, starting to cut those out, and then we will be going underneath the van to mount the gas tank. Well, we won't be mounting the gas tank, we'll be mounting the gas tank brackets. They come through the floor, and they need to be done before we lay the floor. Okay, so the gist of this van is that it's going to have a fixed bed, which will be at this height here. This is our standard height, which gives you a decent amount of sitting space on the bed. We will have a window this side and this side, sort of quite a high level window, as narrow as we can go. It'll be, I think it's 700 by 300. So that fits in this space without eating into this pillar, which we definitely don't want to get anywhere near taking that out, and right up into this corner. So 700 by 300 window there. The kitchen will start around here with a small sort of cutaway divider. So kitchen there. Going to have a microwave slash convection oven with a Thetford combined hob. So it's going to have 2 gas rings and an induction hob. The van's going to be set up with a 460 amp Roma battery, 3 kilowatt inverter, all the Victron gear, so Orions, 2 Orions, probably as much solar as we can get on the roof between the rear max fan and the forward Hecky. It's going to be a 500 by 700 Hecky, so that's a MIDI Hecky. So that'll be up the front, and we probably can get 2 to 250 watts of solar in the middle. We haven't got any roof racks going on, so we can't put any solar forward of the skylights. But so probably 2 to 250 of solar will be where we max out on the roof. So kitchen here, microwave hob, drawers, and then a forward facing Dometic 70 litre fridge, which has got a door that opens both ways. That'll sit here across the doorway, so you've still got full access to the door, but with a narrow, or access to the window if you like. Star-on solid surface in the middle. On this side, when the bed ends, we'll have the standard shower toilet cubicle with a wash basin, and then forward of that will be our curved lounge seat. So travelling for 2 in the 2 front seats, but sitting for 4 around a pillared table. So the table will be on a pillar, which you can access or get all around it. So that's the gist of the layout. Obviously overhead lockers both sides, and then carrying on down the front after the toilet, and then on this side they will carry to about the door. So you'll have 3 lockers in the bedroom, 1 locker then over the kitchen, and then we start with the control panel and then the switch panel, which will go over the door. All the windows are going to be Dometic sites, S4s. On the driver's side, we have to go slightly smaller with the window because of the intrusion of the shower wall. it comes a bit forward of window opening. So we make that one a bit smaller, so 650 by 450. So that one's the smaller one. So and then 400 max fan at the back, and then at the front a Hecky. So that's it. So the first thing tomorrow is basically get some better lighting in here, and then start marking out for the windows. The way we're going to mark out for the windows is going to be from the floor, because the crafter and the man don't have any straight panel on the outside. They're either sloping upwards, sloping downwards. It's a bloody nightmare to mark the windows out. So the way I've worked out of marking these windows is just to measure from the floor using a 4 foot by 4 foot sheet of wood, so I can get a straight edge across to either side, and then we'll mark the windows from the floor. But I'll show you that tomorrow once we get into it. And then we've got the fun part of stripping out that headliner, which is a bloody nightmare. It's the best way of describing the headliner in a crafter or a man. It's a nightmare. But we'll do it. We'll get it done and get it all masked up and show you where we go.